Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Mind Over Matter with Sankit. In this episode we'll be talking about establishing your own daily rituals. So this is not really common for everyone because most of our life is very spontaneous and very on the spot. We like to go with the flow, right? But then it's very important that one establishes a daily ritual. Now in my case, I have started protecting some time for myself early in the morning and the moment before I go to bed. I have found that these are my prime productivity times, meaning that these are times where I am most active and when I can get the most done. So I make sure that early in the morning I have a very good routine. I make my bed immediately after waking up, and I've also talked about the benefits of making one's own bed every day in a previous video. Similarly, I make sure that I brush my teeth immediately before using my mobile phone, because unless I do it immediately, it'll be very late when I brush and my entire day will be shifted to a later schedule. So I'll make sure that I brush immediately and get moving for some time, and do a few jogs or just go for a walk outside. This can also be very helpful because generally when we remain in the same environment for some time, we might feel very loathed and we might feel a sense of lethargy, a sense of laziness. But then if we just simply change our environment, even just leaving your room and going to the next room or going to the balcony of your house or going outside for a short walk, can do wonders in making you feel better about the day. You will feel very fresh and active and you'll get out of the lethargic cycle that you might enter. Similarly, I've also reduced the time of social media uses every day. I make sure that I do not go into social media directly in the morning because that is very likely to give me morning anxiety. I'll be looking at everything that is going around the world and I'll feel somewhat anxious. I'll feel anxious because there's too much of information input from these sources. You get all the information that you do not ask for, but then you find yourself thinking about random information that you see on Facebook or on Instagram. So it's very important that you have a productive, protected time. When you use Facebook or Instagram after this protected time, you'll see that you are a lot more aware and you're a lot less likely to spend more time in these sites. You'll be a lot more aware about what you're doing, so you'll make sure that you limit this time. In a similar manner, I make sure that I stretch in some way or the other and I immediately jump to my task. Now, I've also talked about why it's important to do your most difficult work, the work that you do not want to do at all. That's the task that you need to do first. So you can explore the channel because I've done a video on that previously. So it's important that you have a regular schedule with your food too, because if you do not have a regular pattern of what food you have throughout the day, you generally tend to skip breakfast, and also your food and also the balance between your food and exercise becomes all haywire. So it's also important that you plan your food properly, because generally what most people tend to do is that they just want to go with the flow and they just think that their food schedule will be managed by itself. But then it's important to actually intentionally set up what you want to consume throughout the day. Now personally for me, the afternoon time is the most laziest time in simple terms, because that's the time that I'm most likely to slack in. So I utilize this time using social media and everything else that I do not want to do in my most productive time. This is the time when I go and meet my friends and have normal conversations that do not necessarily relate with my self-growth or professional work. Similarly, in the evening also, it's very important that you slowly let go of the digital world as well as the external world, because unless you set up a time for yourself, unless you establish rituals for yourself, you're going to be very driven by the external world. And rather than you being in the driver's seat of your life, the other external factors will drive your life, due to which you might find yourself lost at times. Hence, it's important that you have evening rituals. Particularly for me, that means meditating for some time after returning back home and contemplating on all the things that went on throughout the day. Similarly, I also start writing my diary. I'm a regular diary writer, so I make sure that I reflect about things that happen throughout the day, and I write the positive things that happen throughout the day and also the negative things that happen throughout the day and how I can improve on them. Similarly, I also make sure that I express gratitude for all the things that I have. So this is a very calming evening routine to have, because you can finally let go of the stress of your entire day. And it doesn't matter if you're a theist or an atheist, but you can also develop a habit of praying, because even if you do not believe that there's an entity called God, you can always be thankful for the universe, because the universe is a very scientific phenomenon, and you can be grateful for the universe for giving you whatever you have. In a similar manner, you can also be grateful to all of your loved ones, your close people who love you, and also forgive them for all the limitations that they have and accept them just as they are. In a similar manner, you can also be grateful for yourself for doing good things, for doing things that made you happy, and you can also forgive yourself for some shortcomings throughout the day. So this is a very good way in which you can start and end the day. Generally, people do not do it. They like to go with the flow, but this in turn leads to a lot of misery in our life, because unless our life is very well documented, unless our life is very well structured, we tend to do whatever we like, and slowly that takes us further and further from our true self. Now, when it comes to doing things, it does not necessarily mean that you need to do journal writing too, because you might have your own skills. You can practice music, or you can also write poetry instead. So it totally depends upon you. You might be an artsy person, so you can also dedicate this alone time to making sketches. So it totally depends on you, but then it's all up to you to find your own muse and start working towards it, so that for one, you feel better about yourself, you feel better about your day, and the other thing is that you also develop your skills, you also become a better equipped person in the process. So if you like this video, do not forget to press the like button. Also, if you like whatever is happening here at Sound Health Solutions, do not forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll be coming up with similar videos in the future. Until next time.